All right, appreciate everybody being here. I'd like to start today by saying happy birthday to our coach, Coach Larry Blakeney. Today's his birthday, and Coach Blakeney is an awesome guy that gave me an opportunity to get into college football way back in 2010, and I've always stayed close to him. So wishing him and his wife Janice a special day and celebrating his birthday, and look forward to seeing him soon. Recapping last week, obviously a big win for us on the road at Southern Miss. Really proud of the way our guys battled. Thought, handling a road trip for the first time against a quality opponent on the road was a big challenge for us, and I liked the way we approached it. We had a good week of practice, and it carried over to Saturday. Obviously, defensively, I thought we played excellent. I thought our guys really got after their quarterback, made a lot of big plays and some negative plays, which I thought were really big. Obviously, Javon Solomon had a huge day. I think he tied the school record for sacks in a game and TFL. So really, really big performance by him. He was our defensive player of the week. So look, really excited about that. Also, offensively, obviously we got off to a slow start, but really liked the way we responded after halftime. Came out after halftime and really picked up the tempo a little bit, played much, much better up front. Really, really pleased with how we finished the game. I think that was important, obviously, but except for the turnovers, the second half was much more like what we want to be like. So really excited about how our guys responded at halftime and came out and really, really stepped up the tempo and played a lot cleaner. Special teams, I thought, was a huge part. I thought our punter, Luke Magliozzi, did a great job early on when we were struggling on offense of flipping the field, keeping the field in our favor, so to speak, and executed that as well. Offensively, our offensive player of the week was Jabri Barber. He had a big-time touchdown catch and run there, diving in the end zone, really his first one of his career. He's continuing to improve and get better and better. He also had a couple other catches as well. So that was exciting to see for sure. And the big thing about our team, I felt, was our guys they hung in there. We talked about locking arms and fighting on the road and supporting each other and so forth. And that's exactly what I saw Saturday night, which was really good to see. And obviously that leads to another big-time road test this week. First conference game on the road in Monroe, Louisiana against ULM. Obviously their head coach is a guy that's very well known, Terry Bowden, who has been a head coach at almost every level, I think. But he's had a great career. He's done a lot of great things and really revitalized a lot of programs if you look at his career. So he's a great choice for this job. I think their team is just watching them on film, you can see they're playing good, sound football. They played Kentucky, and then they turned around and played, Jackson State. And, both games, their guys, I thought it competed and played extremely hard. And that was two opposite ends of the spectrum, so to speak, as an SEC school and an FCS school. But Coach Bowden obviously has got a lot of experience, and you can see his fingerprints all over this team. Their offensive coordinator, Rich Rodriguez, another really experienced guy that maybe even way back in the day invented the spread offense to some extent. Does a great job offensively, presents a lot of problems, and I think he does a great job building the offense around his personnel. Is what I've seen. Had a little experience when I was at Arizona State. He was at Arizona, saw his offenses up close and personal. Always plays with some tempo. And does a great job. He did a great job at Ole Miss after Arizona, so definitely got our hands full this week on trying to defend him. Defense coordinator is one of the brightest young guys in the country named Zach Alley. He's been at Boise State as well as Clemson, two places that play really good defense. He does a lot of different things. He presents you a lot of issues. He's gonna pressure you some, but it's very sound in what he's doing, and really been impressed with what I've seen him do on film. Again, it's going to take a great effort from us up front. We have to make sure that we do a better job of handling the line of scrimmage. It's something we're really working on this week. Special teams coordinator, another veteran guy named Ron West, who's been around 40 years. I've met Ron several times when I was a high school coach, recruiting my schools and so forth. So they're going to be sound all the way around. They got a good coaching staff, and their players are playing extremely hard. They're 1-1 this year. Obviously, lose to Kentucky and beating Jackson State in a home game last week. Couple big-time players I think they have. Their wide receiver that leads their team in receptions is Boogie Knight. He's a transfer in there, I think, from Akron. Does a great job. He's our number one receiving threat and makes plays with the ball in his hand. So we got to know where he is. I think he leads them in targets, catches, and yards. So he's the guy they're going to get the ball to. Also a dangerous returner as well. So a lot of being able to recognize where he is in the formation, and we got to do a great job in special teams of limiting his opportunities. Defensively, they got a really impressive DN named Ty Shelby, who their whole front plays extremely hard and they're very active. But he leads them in TFLs and sacks. I think he's had 4 sacks maybe in 2 games, something like that. So very active, plays extremely hard. He's forced a couple of fumbles. I think he was honorable mention Sunbelt 2020. So he's a guy definitely we got to have a plan for. So overall, I see this as another challenge on the road, especially in conference. Anytime you play a conference opponent in our league, you got to be ready to go. So, for us, we got to have a great week of preparation and go over to Monroe and play good Troy football to have an opportunity to win. So, all right, with that being said, we'll take any questions.
Yeah, Coach, you mentioned the defense and their strong performance on Saturday. It seems to me that each week you've had a different guy kind of step up to, I guess, lead the stats categories or be that guy. How refreshing is that as a coach to know that, whether it's Will Cholo one week, whether it's Solomon this past Saturday, to have different guys step up each week?
Yeah, I think that goes back to some of our depth that we've talked about earlier. In recruiting, we tried to address some of those needs. We've come a long ways on defense in the last couple of years. And, Brandon and his staff are doing an excellent job getting our guys in position. And then at the end of the day, it's about players making plays. And you're right. It seems like each week a different guy step up. And that's very encouraging to see. We want to play good, sound defense all the way around at all 3 levels, D-line, linebacker, as well as secondary. And it seems like each week some of those guys have been highlighted. We had a couple opportunities to intercept a couple passes that we didn't catch. We dropped them. So we always give those guys a hard time, tell them that's why they're on defense, because they don't catch it well. But we're doing a good job contesting catches down the field, contesting throws down the field. I think up front is causing some disruption to the quarterback, which is leading to some of those errant throws, which is – it's hard to play quarterback when you're running for your life, and coaching on the offensive side of the ball, those are things that can really disrupt a quarterback. So overall, right now we're playing really good team defense. We got to continue to work to improve. There's still a lot of things to clean up. We're going to play better and better opponents as the season moves through. So we got to do a great job of just working every day, trying to get better, and it starts today out on the practice field.
Coach, you mentioned Jabri Barber and his performance and all that.
Yeah.
How have you seen him step up, and what's impressed you so much about him so far this season?
Yeah, I think Jabri now is playing with more confidence. He was a running back all the way through high school till his last year. They converted him to a slot receiver, which is where we saw him in 7-on-7 camp we had here on campus, and just thought he was really talented. He's got running back skill set when he catches the ball, and surprisingly had unbelievable ball skills. A lot of times running backs who don't catch it much previously don't have that. So he's strong. Like I said, he's got running back skills, and he's continuing to learn to become a more polished wide receiver. And he showed the other night he's got the ability to really make people miss and make big-time plays. And between he and Tez, they kind of rotate in that same spot. You got 2 guys that are pretty electric with the ball in their hand. So it's a big deal for him to step up and become one of the guys that we can count on. And I think the other night, kind of got him going a little bit. He's probably maybe over some of the nerves now, and hopefully he'll continue to keep getting better and better.
Yeah, Coach, just to stay in the receiving room, Luke, it seems like he's good for 5-6 catches every week for you. He seems to be a popular target, week in and week out.
Yeah, Luke is he's just so dependable. He's very, very solid. He's going to be in the right place at the right time. He's going to convert the route when you're supposed to. He's a smart football player. He got great hands, great ball skills. And he's a guy, quite frankly, when you're a quarterback, you got confidence in certain guys because they're always where they're supposed to be. I think that's extremely important of as far as playing wide receiver is quarterback's got to have confidence you're going to be where you're supposed to be. And then when you get an opportunity, you got to make a play. And he's done a really nice job of that so far. Luke's one of the – he's an awesome kid. He's one of guys on our football team that I know our team respects a lot, and he provides a lot of leadership for us, and hopefully he'll keep making 5 or 6 catches every game as the season plays out.
Chip, I believe Monroe's just scored 1 touchdown in 2 games, but with Bowden and Rodriguez, you know they're going to dial up some things. Two of the better offensive coordinators over the years in the country are play callers. How, I don't know if fun's the word, but how challenging is it for you to match wits with those guys and know they're going to be ready to get something going offensively?
Yeah, no, I agree. Those are 2 of the better offensive coaches that have been in college football, maybe ever, in the history of college football. I got a lot of respect for both of those guys. I met Coach Bowden way back in the early 90s going to his Bowden passing quarterback receiver camp that he had, I think, at Samford University then. And he actually offered me when I was a high school guy, and he was the head coach at Samford. So, and then Rich Rodriguez, when I was in high school coaching, watching what he was doing at Tulane and then Clemson, kind of, the first, maybe not the first, but one of the first guys to get in the spread offense. And I remember the quarterback, Woody Dantzler, he had at Clemson, and the guy, Sean King, he had at Tulane. And so those guys got an unbelievable resume for sure. And, from our standpoint, personally, we just need to work on ourselves and improve, and all that stuff will play out however it plays out. But it's a challenge for our defense to try to defend this group. It's a little bit unexpected because from the standpoint, what I mean is they've only played 2 games. We don't have like a whole year of film on these guys with the similar personnel they have. So I think there's a lot of unknown there, which also sometimes leads to some anxiety for sure, especially when you got good coaches on the other side. So hopefully we'll try to focus on what we can do well, what we do well, and try to execute at a higher level in all 3 phases, and hopefully that'll give us our best chance to win.
Good, you really started implementing the tight end more, it seems, in your offense. DeAndre Lewis caught a couple touchdown passes here the last few weeks. What have you seen out of his play? What's impressed you about him, and how confident are you in his ability down in the red zone specifically?
Yeah, very, very confident DeAndre. DeAndre obviously was a receiver in high school, a big receiver that we really felt like could develop into a tight end. We were in need of tight ends when I got here. We had AJ, who was a young player then, but that was it. So DeAndre was a big sign for us, and then we've added Clayton Olendike this past year. And I think what it allows you to do is get into some different formations. And DeAndre is a very skilled player. I mean, he's got great ball skills. He plays extremely hard, and he's really football smart. And that combination leads to him having the ability and the opportunity to make plays. So got a lot of confidence in DeAndre. I think he's improving. His practice habits are getting better. He is a guy that I think the future is really bright. And with him and AJ and Clayton Olendike, all 3 of those guys allow us some flexibility on offense to be able to, get in some different formations and present different looks to the defense.
The rushing attack again this week, probably not where you wanted it to be. How do you guys continue to work at that and potentially, have a breakout performance in this game against ULM?
Yeah, definitely not where we want it to be. Something that we're, focusing on every day is trying to get better running the football. And we've got good backs, we've got good offensive linemen up front, but we got to play better all the way around. We got to run better, we got to block better. I think when we look back on the film from when we've struggled running the ball, a lot of it's just not finishing blocks and maybe some ID issues, but we've got to do a better job for sure. That's something that's a big focus of ours. We can't go through our season and have the season we want to have and not be able to run the ball better. So still working on it. I think at the end of the day, it comes down to execution, and you can blame it on a lot of different things. At the end of the day, we got to play better.